Hello and welcome to the the third episode. Yeah, we made it to the third. Awesome. This is the third episode of Computer 101 Help. My name is Alex, and again, I will be your host today. Today I'm actually going to help you guys set up remote desktop on your computers. Basically what remote desktop will do is allow you to connect to your computer pretty much at any Windows computer that's running remote desktop, or any computer for that matter that's running a remote desktop software. Basically what remote desktop does is, like I said, lets you have full functionality of your computer and all your access to everything that's on your computer from another computer connected to the internet. Like I said, most Windows computers have remote desktop installed. And able to actually connect to your computer, though, you do have to be running a copy of Windows Pro, Windows XP Pro, Windows 7 Pro, Windows Vista Pro. Pretty much you have to be running one of those versions in order to connect, because the option's only available in Pro or higher. But if you have Pro and you want to learn how to connect remotely to your computer, let's go ahead and get this started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the command prompt. Now I already have the start menu open. You're going to go to All Programs, and where is Accessories? Nope, I already have it open. And Command Prompt. Now I already have the command prompt open with the command that we're going to need already typed in. So after C:, you want to type in ipconfig. I'll put an annotation in the video just in case you can't read that. After that, go ahead and hit enter. It's going to bring up a whole crap load of data that we really don't need too much of it. The only thing we need right here is this first group of numbers right here. Now, as you see, the only thing we really need is the default gateway. That's the address to your router. Hopefully, like I said, you have a router, you're not connected directly to like the modem that you get from your cable company or your DSL company, because you're not going to be able to do this. But as you can see, that's the address to my actual router. So that's the only number we need, is the 192.168.1.1. So I'm going to close that. Now, open up your web browser, and up top, as you see, I have 192.168.1.1 in my address bar. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. It's going to bring me to the Verizon login page. Let me go ahead and log in here. Didn't like that. Let's give that one a try. Alright, sweet. Just give me a minute to get that out of the way. Now, down here, this is a Verizon Fios router, by the way. So a little bit different than what you're going to be looking at your like your Linksys or your Belkin Netgear. It's going to look different than this. This is proprietary for Verizon, but functionally they work exactly the same. You're going to look for an IP address. It should be under your internet IP address. It's not going to be one of these 192s. It's going to be something different. I have mine covered up because I don't want you guys looking at my IP address, because I can you'll be able to connect to my stuff. So yeah, nope, we're not going to show you that. But you're going to need to find your internet public IP address. One way that you can do it is go to whatsmyip.org. It'll give you what your IP address is. That's how you're going to connect in the end. But we'll get to that later. But first things first. So what we need to do is you need to find your firewall settings. Somewhere in your router you'll have firewall settings. Usually it will pop up with a message saying, do you want to proceed? Somewhere in your firewall settings you will have, well, on mine I have a list here on the side of common features that we use. Port forwarding is what we're going to need. So you're going to look in there for port forwarding. Usually it'll tell you to specify an IP, but for sake of argument, I have a list here. It shows me what I'm going to do. I'm just going to plop mine in there. Most routers also will tell you what ports to connect remote desktop. If you can see here, custom ports is what I'm going to select, but if you might have a drop down like this that allows you to open up. You can actually select remote desktop there, or remote anything, because that'll allow pretty much open up any remote port for remote assistance, remote desktop. But for sake of argument, we're going to go to custom ports right now. Now, there's two different ports that have this number. This isn't the number we're going to use, so let's first of all change that. 3389. Oh, didn't get that out of there. 3389. Alright, there we go. Now that went away. Now, you're going to use both for this. You can select TCP and UDP, Transmission Control Protocol. I forget what UDP is at the moment, but just set it as both, and then hit apply. So, pretty much that will go into this list, as you can see, of open ports that I have for different applications. After you apply it, yep. See, as you see, I have a port already set up for it. So I have a different computer set up for remote desktop. I'm doing this just on my main computer. But anyways, once you're done with that, you can actually go over here. You can right-click on Computer, go to Properties. Now, Windows 7 and Windows Vista will have over here Remote Settings. Windows XP will just pop up kind of like this. This will be like the main thing that you see. There'll be a Remote tab up top. But what you want to select is Allow Connections from the computer. Hit OK. Select Users. Just make sure that you can, you already have access if you're the administrator of the computer, and if you have a user account. And by user account, I mean if you log off. Oh, why did it log off like that? There we go. Well, as you can see, I'm back on the actual laptop now. Oh, here we go. It's coming back. Should be. Whatever. I'll get it back up here in a second. There. Yeah, for some stupid reason it did that. But, like I said, if you have a user account, you have to have a password on it, too, for remote desktop to work. But, anyways, what you're going to do after you have that set up is you can go to any computer, open up remote desktop connections. That's actually my old IP address, so that is no longer valid. But you'll put in your IP, like I said, the public IP, the one that you found at whatsmyip.org. You'll put that in here, so it'll be like 98. Yeah, well, there's an example. There's my old IP because my IP refreshed. That was my old IP. So if I were to hit connect, it would actually connect to the other computer I have set up right now. So other than that, like I said, that's not going to do anything at the moment because I do have to do some changing to my network. I reset my router. Well, actually, I moved the position of the router, so I got a new IP address. I got to reset up the ports for that computer, the other one. But like I said, as long as you're running Windows 7 Pro, you're the administrator of the computer, and well, actually, I apologize. Windows 7, Vista, or XP Pro, and you're the administrator of the computer, and you have a password, and you follow these steps, you'll be able to connect to your computer pretty much anywhere. Some places I will let you know, like my school blocks remote desktop connection. That is why I have this lovely program down here, TeamViewer. It's another remote. It's a remote desktop program, but it doesn't require any of these steps to set it up. This is just the Windows one that I prefer over TeamViewer. But that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you like the video, rate, comment, and subscribe.